I'm Joyce Kulhawik, and I am so proud to introduce the Second Steps video, Plant a Seed, Stories of Strength. The stories you are about to hear are powerful testaments of strength and resilience from domestic violence survivors and some of the staff who provide services. Domestic violence is complex, and each survivor's experience is quite different. As you will hear from Lili, Shanna, and Vivian, the second step provides critical services that meet each person where they are and partners with them all the way from crisis to safety to well-being. You will also hear what makes the second step special. From my experience, that is a sense of family, of community, of safety, of love and support. We're talking about real, heartfelt commitment that produces real results in a very tough world. Each member of this community helps to plant seeds for survivors through financial support, through volunteering, through spreading the word to help grow our community and cultivate safe environments for families. We just want to thank all of you for being part of this community. We could not do this without you, and for planting a seed to empower survivors, to inspire hope, to spread awareness, to strengthen community, and to develop strong roots and supportive connections among survivors.
The second step is a community of advocates, survivors, community members that is here to provide help and support to people who have experienced domestic violence, to help people leave a dangerous relationship, recover, and really become self-sufficient and back on their feet. We hope that we are empowering people to take the second step, the next step, into a life of safety and well-being.
It's a safe haven for survivors and victims. It's, a sounding board for people who really don't have anybody to confide in. When I think of the second step, I think of all entities of how, we need to be better and more proactive to be able to get that word that this is not acceptable. And I feel that this community is that community for people to do that with. It's a safe haven, it's a refuge, it's a blanket of support for a lot of people.
We provide legal services through the Steps to Justice program. We provide transitional housing through our 2 residential shelters. We provide housing assistance through our housing program. And we provide community advocacy services, which include everything from safety planning to access to resources, emotional and psychological support, education.
The community team offers great opportunities for those survivors who are living out here in the community that are still connected with the second step, with putting together summer camps and support groups for the families and their children as well. Residential inside of the homes, they're doing great programmings with their residents weekly, so that there is a community that is always going to continue to keep building and growing and strengthening here.
A lot of our families are coming in never having their own apartment, never having their own space and in shelter. And so the best kind of success of this job is really being able to see them move into their own space with a healthy mindset, kind of learning about healthy relationships a little bit more, and going into their own apartment or their own house and having that own space. And it's so exciting to see the kids have their own bedroom. They love it. That's the best part of the job, is kind of seeing them move out, because we know that we have been successful and that they, are able to go and live a healthy life. We are actually quite literally the second step in a survivor's journey.
I had personal attachment with the organization as far as its purpose and its mission. I saw myself in all of our survivors, and grateful enough for myself, I had a group of people, I had family, I had church, I had friends that were my support network, my unit, that were able to help me and get me to my next steps. And so actually last year I was at rock bottom. I lost a lot. And I was actually in a place where I was gaining some confidence in myself. I found new peace, and I stumbled across the second step and I felt like it was a blessing for me. And the opportunity to be able to help others like myself who, grateful for myself that I had a unit. Other people don't. To have that opportunity to aid and assist somebody to get to their next steps is like truly phenomenal. So it's like fulfilling work and it gives back, it makes me feel better about what I did for myself and offering those words of encouragement to those who are going through those same things to say, look at me, like I've been here too.
There's a lot of stigma around domestic violence that it only happens in low-income areas, and that's not true. It happens everywhere. It doesn't matter what your income is, it doesn't matter who you are, it can happen to anybody. And I really want to tell people that are experiencing that to reach out for help when you're ready.
It touches every race, culture, ethnicity, and economic status. And although it touches every person in that way, it is very different how it presents and the challenges that need to be faced. And coming from a multifaceted lens, knowing that it's never one aspect of someone's life, trauma, specifically domestic violence, kind of intertwines within all aspects, whether that's financially, culturally, socially, things like that.
Domestic violence doesn't judge a book by its cover. It's anybody, male, female. And I think that's what we need to realize, especially in this day and time. It's not always physical. Emotional, I think, is way more harder than the physical. Because you can heal from the bruises, but you can't heal when it's mentally drained into you for years or for days or for hours. Back in 2012, I was attacked in my home, held hostage for a few hours, had an AK-47 put to my head and my face was broke. That wasn't my last incident with domestic violence, but as you see, I'm still here. I'm walking through Second Step's doors and they're still here, Again, unconditional and non-judgmental. It's a blessing. It's just consistency for a lot of us who don't have it.
I thought I was going to die. Once I thought he would kill me.
What you are seeing here is a masculine hand choking a feminine body. And it's very graphic. I had to hide it. As soon as I finished it, I kept it hide because I knew that if he saw it, he would break it.
I reached out to the second step right after I ran away. Because, I ran away. That's what I did. The whole institution, they have been very great. They have supported me every step of the way. As soon as I reached out for help, they started helping me. They want to help you in so many ways, in so different ways. With immigration, with divorce, with security, with the fact that you need to feel safe and secure, and they want to help you with that. There's nothing worse than living afraid. There's no need to live afraid. You have steps you can take for taking that feeling off. I mean, I don't know how it works for other people, but I don't know, being alone, no family in a country that is not yours, to find support in a situation like that means everything.
My advocate calls me out. She keeps me on my toes. It's kind of like, it brings me back to family. Someone you can be totally honest with, and you're not going to be judged. What you're indulging is going to be confidential. And so just having that open-minded relationship, the open arms, and the willingness to listen and want to help and not judge is tremendous. So that's what my advocate is to me, my stepping stone, my baggage. She takes it all.
COVID has had an effect on everybody and everything, obviously. We know that there's still a lot of domestic violence going on. All of the ingredients that make domestic violence worse are present with COVID. None of this creates domestic violence, but when there is stress, when there's financial insecurity, when there's job loss, that all contributes to an exacerbation of the problem. At the beginning, we were seeing less people calling us and less people getting help, and that was really concerning. And it was because There was no safe place to make a phone call. There was no excuse or ability to leave the house and tell somebody or get help. So we had to do a lot more outreach. We had to really be thinking about how we could make our services available to people. We never stopped for one day providing service.
COVID has impacted my work with clients, both negatively and positively. I think on a negative lens is the obvious factors of, limited contact. And I think especially with domestic violence, safety is a large concern, and wanting to be able to have eyes on people is really important. And just concern for physical safety and, health safety as well. And then in a positive way that it's changed is I think it's increased our kind of catchment area that we can serve with clients. And maybe some clients that lived in areas before that were too far out, but, weren't necessarily within our realm of working. Now we can, because we have Zoom, and that just expands our touch for survivors.
I think that the pandemic has created a lot of havoc and a lot of chaos. But out of that, I think we're going to be stronger and better and really figure out exactly what our clients need and be able to provide it for them.
I always say that we can learn a lot from our clients. Even during this whole pandemic, clients are used to chaos. They are used to living in crisis all the time. And so when the whole world went into crisis, we learned a lot from them. We learned how to function in crisis from the client. And so I'm thankful for them for that all the time.
I have such an appreciation for resilience and grace, and the people, my clients who I work with, who are dealing with a lot of adversity, but they face it head on, and they face it with grace. And the times that I'm in my office with somebody and we can laugh, that to me is the best time, because we've really come to another level. And I've learned from my clients that I need to face adversity and I need to face difficult things, and they give me the strength to do that.
I think just being able to be a witness alongside a survivor's journey is incredibly rewarding, and it is really wonderful when you can have those successes of them getting childcare or in shelter, because there's almost relief in that. They're one step closer to this stabilization and safety, which is great.
I am always grateful when I come to work. I'm happy when I go and see my clients. I am even more ecstatic when I get great news and I'm able to share that with them, because, it can only go up from where you are right now.
You walk through these doors for a reason. So second step is needed. It's appreciated. It should be supported, and they should be sponsored a lot more than they are, and recognized a lot more than they are.
Our partnership with the Second Step has changed us in profound ways and has been a meaningful and inspiring experience, and we are grateful for the opportunity to work with them.
The Wesley Hills Junior Women's Club is honored to partner with the Second Step in furthering their mission.
What makes the Second Step unique is that they really see their clients and value diversity, inclusion, and human dignity.
It takes care of those who've experienced domestic violence.
It's an organization of community care, from everyone behind the scenes to those providing the substantive services to the clients themselves.
The Second Step is an organization that offers a helping hand. It's special because it offers that helping hand with an open and loving heart.
And we need more young men to help raise awareness and stand up for those most vulnerable.
And what does the Second Step mean for Newton? Saving lives, providing safety, supporting people, healing survivors.
Justice. Commitment to education.
Love.
Positivity.
Empowerment.
When you leave here, you don't just leave with just tools and resources. You leave with a community, you leave with a village, and you leave with, so many things here that could potentially be your forever family for those who've never had anything.
I'm truly grateful for not only my advocate, but Second Step.
As you just heard from Lili, Shanna, and Vivian, the Second Step saves and transforms lives on the ground. This work takes tremendous resources. Not everybody can do it. It can only be sustained with the combined efforts of individual survivors themselves, with our staff, our community partners, funders, and donors like you. Think of yourselves like Miracle Grow, if you will. With every gift you make to the second step, you are helping to ensure that the second step has what it needs to keep at this critical work. With every gift, you plant a seed of hope, a seed of healing, of love, of strength, and a future full of possibility.